Hello YouTube and welcome back for another video. Well, FFG just dropped a new article on their site, Mechanized Might, and we got to see the new Separatist expansion pack, the new Separatist CIS fleet for Star Wars Armada. And there's some really interesting stuff in here, so I wanted to put out a video and talk about what I think of the new expansion and some of the new ships and upgrades we're getting. So starting off, we have Count Dooku, the first commander we were shown for the Separatists. You must choose at least 2 types of command tokens for this card. At the start of each ship phase, you may discard 1 command token from this card. If you do, each enemy ship gains a raid token matching that command token. Wow. So, you can see on the left of the card here, we can put up to 3 command tokens on Count Dooku. They have to be at least 2 different types, so you can't just put 3 squadron tokens on there, but you can put something like, say, 2 squadron tokens and the concentrate fire token. And I say squadron tokens because I see Count Dooku as just a hard counter to squadron heavy builds. If, say, your opponent's running Sloane or Riken aces, well, Riken with 4 aces as per the new rules errata now, Count Dooku is a great counter to that because it means that on key rounds, your opponent will have a very difficult time activating all of those squadrons. Yeah, Count Dooku looks like a great commander to me at 30 points. This looks like a lot of fun. Next up, we have Kraken. Once per activation, while a friendly ship is attacking a ship, if another friendly ship is at close to medium range of the defender, the attacker may change 1 die to a face with any 1 icon and no other icons. Okay, so if you're attacking an enemy ship and you have another one of your friendly ships right next to that enemy ship, then you get a combination of Commander Sato and Intensify Firepower. Yeah, this looks pretty solid. I like the versatility. It's not exactly like Intensify Firepower because you're not limited to just that 1 die side. You can change it to a critical hit if you need something like heavy ion emplacements to go off. Or you can change it to an accuracy to stop a scatter. Very solid card, I think, in my opinion. Very good commander at 30 points. We were also shown the 2 ship variants for the Munificent class frigate. Starting off, we have the Munificent class comms frigate. It costs 70 points. It has a command value of 2, squadron value 3, and an engineering value of 4. It has 6 hull, 4 shields in the front arc, 3 on each side, 2 in the rear. 2 red, 2 blue dice in the front arc, 3 red on each side, 2 red in the rear. And it has a anti-squadron value of 1 red. Interesting, we don't often see a anti-squadron flag of 1 red die or red die at all, so that's really interesting. With the upgrades, we have an officer slot, a support team slot, an offensive retrofit slot, an ion cannon upgrade, and a turbo laser upgrade. You can see over here it can only go up to speed 2, so I think we're on a lot of these Munificent frigates, we're going to be seeing engine techs a lot. But overall, this looks like a solid ship. It's definitely the carrier of the 2 variants. This is the more squadron support focused one. And we can see the keywords here, droid, bombard, comms. We'll come back to this in a second when we talk about the Star Frigate, because I think that is a fairly important distinction there. Moving on to upgrade cards, we have Hyperwave Signal Boost. During the squadron phase, when it is your fleet's turn to activate squadrons, you may exhaust this card to choose a number of unactivated friendly squadrons at close to long range up to your squadron value. This turn, activate each of those squadrons. While attacking, each of those squadrons with AI are treated as if activated by a squadron command. Okay, a lot to unpack here. First, this is a Separatist exclusive upgrade card, as you can see here by the icon. It costs 3 points. It is an offensive retrofit, and it is an exhaust card, but it is an exhaust card that requires you to spend tokens in order to unexhaust it. Now that that's out of the way, each of those squadrons with AI are treated as if activated by a squadron command. Well, as many of you probably know, with this new expansion, we get the new AI mechanic. The AI mechanic signifying, well, these are droid fighters, unmanned fighters, but when they're being coordinated by a larger mothership, they're more effective, so they get extra dice in their attack pool, their anti-squadron attack pool, that is. And yeah, this is really cool. I like this. Whether or not it will necessarily make the cut, I don't know. We'll have to see what sort of carrier and squadron assisting upgrades we get for the Separatist. And the reason I say that is because generally when it comes to squadron builds, activating squadrons during the ship phase is key. And this is effectively saying, well, if you weren't able to activate all of your squadrons during the ship phase, you're not completely lost in the squadron phase. It's a very, very strong upgrade card because effectively it's saying, hey, with the Munificent's case, 3 of your squadrons now get an extra dice to attack with against enemy squadrons during the squadron phase. Absolutely strong. I don't know if I'm necessarily sold on this upgrade card, especially as it's a Separatist upgrade, but definitely one to keep an eye on, because if we get a really big Separatist carrier type ship, this is definitely a contender to be used. Very, very interesting. And then as an officer upgrade, we have Wat Tambor. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Where you may spend up to 2 shields from any of your hull zones or any one hull zone on another friendly ship at distance 1 to 5 to gain twice that many additional engineering points. And you can see here, this is whenever you spend either an engineering command or an engineering token. So, spending 2 shields to gain twice that many engineering points. So effectively, if you're spending them all on your own ship, it is net 0 in terms of how many shields you could get back, but this could be really, really strong. Let's say, for example, you're running a list with 2 Munificent frigates. One of them is, say, a carrier that's supporting squadrons, and the other one is the star frigate that is being more of an anti-ship frigate. And the anti-ship frigate is taking most of the fire, as one might expect. And then you have Wat Tambor on there to help you keep that ship much healthier, and say if the comms frigate that's supporting the squadrons isn't taking as much fire, or only ever has one or two arcs pointed at enemy ships, and the other arcs really aren't losing any shields, maybe you take 2 shields from there and move it on to your fire ship. There are a number of possibilities here. Wat Tambor, though, definitely spending 2 shields to gain 4 engineering points, or 1 shield to gain 2 engineering points. This could be really, really strong, especially if, say, you got a face-up damage card that's hampering your engineering ability. This is a great way to help you get rid of that damage card. Very, very cool officer, in my opinion. And then we have Battle Droid Reserves in the support team slot. This is also a Separatist exclusive upgrade. And then we also see it says droid only, so we see that keyword mechanic coming into play here. Whenever you spend an engineering command or token, you may exhaust this card. If you do, flip any number of your face-up damage cards with the crew trait face down. Discarding face-down damage cards costs 1 fewer engineering point. So, any face-up damage cards with the crew trait, all of those get flipped face down. This is like a slightly different medical team, support team upgrade. You know, that's a 1-point upgrade that if you're dealt up a face-up damage card and it has the crew trait, it is immediately discarded without resolving the effect. This is a bit like that, but discarding face-down damage cards costs 1 fewer engineering point. So now they cost 2 points, the same as regenerating a shield. Yeah, this looks really, really cool. Obviously, it's a Separatist exclusive upgrade. Wouldn't really make much sense for the Empire or the Rebels. I get it. And also, it is an exhaust card, but as you can see as well, you have to spend either an engineering commander token to unexhaust this card. Really, really cool card, and I like seeing the new keyword mechanic come into play here. For title cards, we have Tide of Progress 12. Before you are dealt a face-up damage card with the ship trait, you may exhaust this card to discard that damage card without resolving its effect. Wow, so I just mentioned on Battle Droid Reserves about how it's a bit like Medical Team. This is exactly like Medical Team, except instead of discarding the card, you'll only exhaust it and have to spend an Engineering Commander token to unexhaust it, and then it has the ship trait keyword there instead of the crew trait keyword there. But yeah, at 2 points, this is, hey, I've got 2 points just kicking around that I'm not using, or I've got a 10-point bid. I can go for an 8-point bid, and occasionally I'll just have Tide of Progress do massive damage mitigation. 2 points. 2 points as in a ship title is huge, just because that's at the point where it's, well, might as well. It's cheap enough that there's little reason to not put it on there. I mean, unless you're literally at 0 bid. This is a great, great ship card, especially just looking at how cheap it is. I think really makes this card good. The other title card we were shown is Leor. Leor? Leor? SN, we'll call it. Man, what is it with this expansion and the unpronounceable names? While defending, if you are at speed 2 or higher, you may spend a defense token to resolve the evade defense effect instead of that token's effect. You cannot resolve the evade defense effect more than once per attack. So, Munificent frigates, they have a brace, a redirect, and a salvo. If they say want to spend that brace at long range to cancel out, say, a double hit from a TRC's at long range, yeah, absolutely. This is a really, really strong upgrade title, in my opinion. I know I just raved about how cool Tide of Progress 12 is because how cheap it is. This one is definitely stronger, which it is 5 points, 3 points more expensive than Tide of Progress 12, absolutely. But bear in mind, 5 points is still pretty cheap as far as title cards go. And what's more, if we look at the Munificent frigates here, there's a lot of red dice in these arcs. These ships like to be at long range of enemy ships. So, Leor, it's a pretty good fit for that. This is a very, very good title card. I'm very excited at both title cards for the Munificent frigates because they both look very, very strong to me. And then finally coming to the 2 squadrons we were shown, we first have the Vulture class droid fighter squadron. They can move up to distance 4, have 3 hull, anti-squadron attacks of 1 blue and 1 black, anti-ship of 1 red, and they cost 8 points apiece. They have the swarm keyword, and then they have AI anti-squadron 1. While attacking a squadron, if you are activated by a squadron command, you may add 1 die to your attack pool of a color that is already in your attack pool. That's actually kind of interesting to me, because now, with the anti-squadron flag here, if they're going up against a squadron that, say, doesn't have a scatter, and throw in an extra black die for the more damage. Or if you are going up against a squadron, an ace with scatter, well then you throw in an extra blue dice to make sure you get that accuracy. Yeah, this is a pretty solid squadron. 8 points, yeah, it's very, very cheap. But with Swarm and Anti-Squadron, I definitely think that these guys can be worth it. So that about wraps this video up. I am super, super excited for this expansion pack, and I really want to know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you think that the Republic looks stronger, Separatist looks stronger? Am I undervaluing Hyperwave Signal Boost, overvaluing that SN title card that I'm not going to try to pronounce anymore? Let me know what you think down in the comments, because I think right now this looks really, really fun, and overall, I'm very, very excited to see where it goes. But let me know what you think in the comments. Look forward to hearing from you, and I will see you guys next time.